लास्ट टाइम 3 लाख से ओवैसी जी जीते थे, इस बार
1 लाख से हार जाएंगे. I'm a bloody bulldozer. I'm happy. They are scared, not me. I worked with 4 to 5,000 Muslim Pasmanda women. They are literally into tears of poverty, fear, and a desire to get out of that. अरे बाबा, आप 7 नहीं, 8 नहीं, 10 बच्चों को भी जन्म दे दो, लेकिन क्या फायदा है उन बच्चों का जिनको आप पढ़ाई नहीं दे रहे हो? क्या फायदा है उस नंबर का जिसको आप खाना नहीं दे पा रहे हो, ठीक तरह से आप सेहत नहीं दे सकते हो? बच्चे जाके मैकेनिकल शॉप में काम कर रहे हैं.
पर अब तो कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट है, बीआरएस नहीं है, मामा भांजा पार्टी
मामा
नहीं है.
भांजा चले गए, भाई भाई है वहां पर. दरवाजा बंद करके बाहर पुलिस वाला ठहरा हुआ रहता है, वो पहरेदार करते रहता है बाई गेट के बाहर, ताकि कोई अंदर नहीं जाए और उन लोगों को डिस्टर्ब ना करे. रिगिंग करने वाले को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना चाहिए ना.
आई नीड टू राइट #sarcasm out here. नहीं तो
मैंने रिस्पेक्ट देना पड़ता है. इतनी बुरी हालत हो गई थी वहां पर उस मंदिर का कि जाकर उसके खोलने तक नहीं दिए. लोकल भक्त जो वहां पे थे, they have fought, were beaten up with great difficulty. They had to open it. To be pro-Hindu is very different from really standing up for Hinduism. I am not a politician, Smita ji. Probably I can never become a politician. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. If you look at those children in that constituency, you would just feel that what all do you require to throw all that coming between a child and their growth. वो एक छोटा सा एक नन्ना कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी कैंसर बढ़ रहा है वहाँ पर.
ओवैसी साहब से कभी मिले हैं क्या फेस टू फेस?
नहीं, बट मेरे हिसाब से ओवैसी जी पार्लियामेंट से निकलते हुए हम पार्लियामेंट के अंदर जाते हुए एक दूसरे को आदाब भी कहेंगे और नमस्कार भी कह लेंगे. कई का बिरयानी बात कर रहे हैं भाई आप. बिरयानी कौन से बाहर के देश से आया जहाँ पर रेती के अलावा कुछ भी नहीं है वहाँ पर, और बिरयानी वहाँ से आया? कौन बना है बिरयानी?
Namaste, Jai Hind. Welcome to another edition of the ANI podcast with Smita Prakash. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel and sending in your suggestions. Today my guest is Madhavi Latha. She's a political novice who's taking on the stalwart Asaduddin Owaisi in Hyderabad. With so many first-time contestants in 2024, why has Madhavi Latha evinced so much of interest? Also, why has the BJP decided to make it a contest this time in Hyderabad? After all, many used to call Barrister Owaisi's party the B Team of BJP. If that was the case, why make this a pitched battle? And a woman BJP candidate for the first time ever in Hyderabad. Let's ask Madhavi Latha herself. The podcast is in English and Hindi. Madhavi ji, thank you so much for coming to the podcast. I'm really looking forward to the conversation, and our team really appreciates that you've come all the way from Hyderabad during the thick of campaigning to be part of this podcast. Thank you so much.
Smriti ji, I can only tell one thing, that you have done favor to me, because you have given me an opportunity to present truths and facts which the entire country never had got an opportunity even to know what even such things exist. I feel that the opportunity given to me is because by the time and by Almighty, I need to do justice to it. So I am here to let entire voters of this nation to know many things by which they think a minute before executing that the most powerful weapon they have in their hand is called vote.
Vote. That's right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to request you to do this in a mix of English and Hindi. Some people don't like it because they say that अरे या तो एक language में करो या दूसरे में करो, mix क्यों करते हैं? But my idea is that one, your constituency, I want people to understand it. So there might be people जिन्हें अंग्रेजी नहीं आती, वो हिंदुस्तानी, हिंदी या उर्दू में सुनना चाहते हैं. And also I want a little bit of English because there might be second generation overseas Andhrites who probably are not very familiar with Hindi Hindustani. So I want them also to understand what it means to be a first woman BJP candidate in Hyderabad. So we'll get into that. But first I want to ask you that who told you that your name? Who is the first person who told you that your name has been that you have been nominated. How did you get to know about this?
सारा देश जब टीवी देख रहा था तो मैं भी देख रही थी.
अच्छा, टीवी से पता लगा?
हाँ.
हाँ, क्या?
फैमिली के साथ मैं बैठी थी.
हाँ.
तो अनाउंसमेंट चल रहा था.
हाँ.
तो हम साथ इकट्ठे देख रहे थे.
हाँ. तो उस
all 130 crores
yeah
with me were listening to this.
And then there was this frantic googling that national media was doing. कौन है भाई ये? इनका नाम नहीं सुना आज तक. अब लोग हैदराबाद में तो आपको जानते हैं, लेकिन नेशनल मीडिया में तो लाइक कौन है. And उसमें then there all kinds of names were coming up because there's an actress also by the same name.
Yes.
And you're a dancer also. तो फिर कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा था, but फिर then of course everybody got to know who you are.
I worked more silently.
जी.
It took me a lot of time and made so many years because I was playing multiple roles. कि मैं एक all my young days or my childhood that had a different kind of life and experiences. उसके बाद शादी हो गया, तो एक पत्नी का रोल, माँ का रोल, like social worker का रोल, and probably at times even helping in construction of our own companies and buildings, and then into the organization helping. During COVID time, I was helping. So my life is a mixed match of many things. Now I felt that, after realizing or knowing a lot of truths from the place that I am born and brought up.
You were born in Hyderabad itself, right?
Hyderabad Lok Sabha constituency. That I would want to make it very clear.
Old
because
city.
हाँ, तो जब हम हैदराबाद बताते हैं तो people usually get confused. But Hyderabad is also the capital city of Telangana. And Hyderabad is also given the same name for the Lok Sabha constituency Hyderabad. So I belong to Lok Sabha constituency Hyderabad Yakutpura for 25 years.
तो बचपन सारा old city में.
हाँ, पुराना बस्ती, ओल्ड सिटी. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम अभी भी उसको बस्ती ही बोलते हैं.
बस्ती, हाँ.
क्योंकि वो बस्ती से बाहर निकला नहीं.
क्योंकि एयरपोर्ट से जब बाहर निकलते हैं, यू सी ऑल द शाइनी बिल्डिंग्स एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड यू थिंक दैट. और फिर आप जब ओल्ड सिटी की तरफ जाते हैं तो फिर एक ऐसे लगता है एक अलग ही माहौल है, एक अलग ही शहर है. बिकॉज देर इज़ नो कनेक्शन, द रोड्स, तंग सड़कें, छोटी छोटी गलियाँ, बिल्कुल अलग.
अगर आप कितने आरटीसी बसेस जाते हैं वहाँ पे, रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट के, आप गिनती भी कर लेंगे ना, तो बाकी के कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी से बहुत कम रहता है यहाँ पर. इट इज़ बिकॉज द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड द कनेक्टिविटी, दिस लोक सभा वर्सेस अदर लोक सभा is it deliberately is put down. If you try to see that any kind of an attraction that somebody would want to feel to settle in Lok Sabha Hyderabad constituency, there's nothing. The educated youngsters, irrespective of whichever religion they belong to, the moment they get educated a bit, maybe they're trying to become professionals, or they've got professionally settled. जैसे आप डॉक्टर समझिए, इंजीनियर समझिए, that's what I'm saying, irrespective of the religion. वो लोग बोलते भैया अबे हमको यहाँ पे रहना नहीं है. Because they start becoming polished. And when you start becoming polished, the surprising nature of a human is you start becoming soft. And softness sometimes also brings a kind of fear in you to handle certain things. निकल जाते हैं वहाँ से.
Fear of what, माधवी जी? वहाँ पे क्या fear है?
Everything. For instance, I would say with the kind of standards of living that they have. आप समझिए जब आप डॉक्टर हैं तो आप पहचानते हो ना what is hygiene. I'll start from there in a very quick way. तो सड़कें इतनी खराब रहते हैं, कचरा पूरा सड़क पे ही रहता है. So there is no discrimination whether it is a temple or whether it is a mosque. जहाँ पे बोलते वहाँ पे मिल जाता है आपको. इतना कचरा that the garbage occupies 40% of the road. And you will see cow eating or cows eating that, the cattle eating that. And that's how the, like I would say that that's a pathetic state of the cattle also there.
पर ऐसे क्यों? क्योंकि ओवैसी साहब जो हैं, he is a parliamentarian for so many years from that constituency, और उनकी बहुत बनती है with BRS. वो दोस्त कहलाते हैं एक दूसरे के साथ.
मामा भांजा कह लेता है.
मामा भांजा, चलिए, ये मुझे नहीं पता था. बट KCR was very good friends with ओवैसी साहब. तो जब ये VIP कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी मानी जाती थी तो फिर क्यों नहीं डेवलपमेंट हुआ यहाँ पर?
I would rather conclude it this way that where the people are uneducated or left uneducated, where people are not let to grow economically, and where people are influenced by certain fear of religion, there it is very easy to manipulate them. It's easy to control them. For instance, the highest education that you have there, most of the, like Muslim women, is a 7th class. And you go and ask them, they say, हमने 10th fail हुआ, madam. हमने 10th. They take the pride to say that.
Metric pass. Metric fail.
नहीं, fail.
Metric fail.
And they expect that हमको कुछ नौकरी आ सकती है क्या? And another biggest surprise there is, you find maximum number of child labor. Small little kids, they work in mechanic shops, in tailor shops.
It's illegal.
Who is there to question, स्मिता जी? सवाल कौन करेगा वहाँ पर? अब देखिए, you pick up all the newspapers of old city. Nobody ever puts any complaint. Can there be any democracy where it is complaint-free constituency? You will not see any paper complaining about them. They cannot.
Is it because the media says ki, what happens in newsrooms is, okay, suppose I was, like when I asked you illegal or when I said it's illegal, I'm sure there'll be many in the comment section say, kya Smita ma'am ko ye bhi nahi pata ki child labor hota hai is country mein. That's not what I'm saying. The reason I'm saying this is because the media knows and it's complicit in many cases. What happens in the newsroom is ki, ye kaun si nayi baat hai? You understand? After some time, wo dead ho jata hai mind.
But when you actually start living and listening to those poor women, see, basically, I'm not a politician with so-called definition today the country has given. In fact, being a political science postgraduate, what polity for me is society, system, the nature and the interaction of human beings and growth towards it. But यहाँ तो politics को अलग ही definition है, गंदा है, ये है, वो है. So I do not want to talk with the new age definition of politician. I am a simple nagrik. I am a woman. I am a mother. I worked with 4,000 to 5,000 Muslim pasmanda women. They are literally into tears of poverty, fear, and a desire to get out of that. They can't open their mouth. They're scared. They have layers to cross, Mitaji. घर में they need to cross the man of the house. मोहल्ले में आजू बाजू लोगों को ये लोग क्रॉस करना पड़ता है. फिर बाद में ये लोगों को रिलीजियस अथॉरिटीज से क्रॉस करना पड़ता है. उसके बाद में they have their own pressures with the party also. They are continuously watched. वहाँ जीना पड़ता है. You need to live there to know who they are. That's the reason. Because I dare to do this. Today I have an enormous, information in my hand. People are scared to come out to say even that, because people were beaten up. Electricity bill, जो जाके पूछता है government employee, he is beaten up. So उसको भी तो घर रहती है ना, उसको भी बीवी बच्चे होते हैं. Why would somebody want to risk their life?
So what information do you have? You've brought some papers. Can you share with us as to what is it that really shocks you about your constituency?
I would first start with the cow slaughtering. This is Darul Ifta Jamia Nizamia. This is given a fatwa by them, which has been translated and which says that they, as per Qurbani, can eat anything, as per Islamic law. But, if one kind of animal out of the above animals is not available, and if there is apprehension of laws in getting them, then whatever other male or female animal is available, only slaughter that. So you're not supposed to touch cow if the law of that land has apprehensions in getting it. Against this, Asaduddin Owaisi Saab, Member of Parliament, Director General of Police Telangana को ये खत लिखते हैं. I'll just read out 2 lines. In subject he says, harassment of livestock traders and transporters and arbitrary seizure of animals on the eve of Bakrid in Hyderabad, Cyberabad, Rachakonda, and other parts of Telangana by the anti-social elements styling themselves as Gaurakshak,
So Gaurakshaks are antisocial.
according to him. That's how he describes them. Under this, he puts a paragraph. We would request you to instruct the police officials not to insist on certificates from veterinary doctors on the age and fitness of the animals to be slaughtered. Who are you to stop a government policy? And he says, because such weak animals are not allowed to be slaughtered for Bakrid, people are very knowledgeable and wise enough to ensure that they don't carry so-called cows and so-called calves and the healthy animals. I mean, the weak animals. So, he decides on behalf of everybody that the trucks carry perfect animals and they're not cows and there are no calves. So, don't ask for fitness certificate. And not to book case for so-called overcrowding of animals in vehicles. If there is a law to stop overcrowding animals in a vehicle, who are you to say not to?
So he can write whatever he wants to, but it depends on the administration whether they take cognizance and whether they change their way of doing it. Did you see any instances?
I would say one thing is, Mitaji, he can write whatever he wants, but if he's not a representative in a democratic country, एक आम आदमी लिख सकता है, parliamentarian नहीं लिख सकता है. When he has a fatwa saying like this.
Fatwa is he connected with the organization?
It doesn't have to be. It talks about every Muslim. Fatwa doesn't say that Asaduddin has to read this. If I can get a fatwa and I am able to get it translated and understand, the fatwa would have been taken its own care to ensure that, the respective minority political party reaches it.
लेकिन जब आप जाते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में, क्या लोग जानते हैं इस फतवा के बारे में?
किसी को नहीं पता. This has not been popularized among them. Now I am popularizing this fatwa in the entire country. That's the reason I feel I am blessed to come to this particular podcast, because the whole nation should know something like this exists. And the most surprising thing is, this has happened during BRS government. Now BRS government is Mamu, and AMI party officials are Banja. Now, if Banja writes to Mamu's government that please don't check any certificates and Gaurakshaks are anti-social elements, हाँ बताइए protection किसको कहाँ से मिल रहा है?
Before we go on to the next one, I just want one question to ask you. You spoke about BRS. Now, KCR his family, they are supposed to be very ultra-Hindu in the sense that they do all the puja part and all that.
That's a very good tune. If you ask, I'll put Razakar into the story. I have one more story to connect this, which is a bomb story for you.
Okay.
Ask me that question.
So what I want to know is that if this was what was happening when he was talking like this about Gaurakshaks, because I have heard KCRG talking about cow protection, and even Kavita ji used to talk about cow protection. So if they are so pro-Hindu, then how did this happen?
To be pro-Hindu is very different from really standing up for Hinduism. It goes this way, like Stalin family. The women in the house, they do pujas. And the men in the home, in the political party, they talk all nonsense and crap about Hindutvam and Hinduism. That is the reason why people have concluded that politics is dirty. I'll give you one more thing here. If that is so perfect, the KCR Saab has worked for Telangana liberation. What is the story of Telangana? Telangana story is a story of Razakars. Who are Razakars? During Qasim Razvi time, who was the salar of the Nizam there, because Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji wanted it to merge into Hyderabad, into the nation at that time, and they've given 13 months of time. Everybody knows this. And these people didn't want to join that. They have started a party, AIMIM, and they have pulled Muslims of entire world there, saying that they have also funded Pakistan, in fact. And these around 2 lakh Razakars have been brought into Telangana. They have murdered kids. They have brutally raped women. Their milk that kids are supposed to drink were drunk. They drank that. They have cut the breast of women. They have thrown them naked around. Brahmins were killed and their genu was piled up. And in 2011, if you can search the YouTube, Akbaruddin ji, who is the younger brother of Asaduddin ji, he says, MIM party रज़ाकारों का है. हम सब, हमारे परदादा तो फिरंगों के सामना किए हैं हिंदुस्तान से लड़ने के लिए. हम तो सिर्फ चंद बुलेट लेने की कोशिश करे हैं. हम सब मुसलमान इसको मानते हैं और इसका रक्षा करेंगे. He is openly declaring he is a Razakar. And KCR ji said that he is working towards the upliftment of Telangana. And he wanted Telangana because he's been constantly talking about the Razakar movement. And 2011 is far before than when he could enter into Telangana as a politician, not from any other party, but when he wanted to formation of, when he worked towards formation. था वाकिफ नहीं थे 2011 के उससे. पूरा दुनिया वाकिफ है. I am openly working with a Razakar. How are you benefiting a Telangana state which got slaughtered by Razakar movement? And AIMIM took its birth from MIM.
But they changed the constitution, right? Of the party, which was MIM was a supporter of Razakars.
Yes.
AIMIM changed their constitution and broke away. Yes, one speech you are saying, but Owaisi Saab never says that, brings a connection between the Razakars and AIMIM. Hasn't AIMIM divorced itself from the atrocities of the Razakars?
Then he should divorce his brother also, who calls himself Razakar and they belong to MIM, right? He will not divorce his brother. And such party which protects the brother who openly, allegedly says whatever he says, and with such party, the BRS gets connected. I'll tell you why they get connected. They can get connected because of their own personal interest. I'll prove that also.
So you're saying that AIMIM still has children of collaborators or workers of collaborators of the Razakars, and would you directly blame them to be?
I would directly blame Asaduddin ji, who has openly told, what's the fear in accepting it? जब कहने वाले में इतना गुरूर है, कहने के लिए हम रज़ाकार के बंदे हैं और हमारे उसूल MIM से आते हैं, मुझे कौन सी दिक्कत है उसको लोगों को बताने के लिए? हाँ, एक दिक्कत तो हो सकती है that I could be threatened, जो मुझे मंजूर है लेना.
आपको मंजूर है कि आप
थ्रेट? हाँ, यस, आई नो. हु डजंट नो दैट? अरे साहब, ये देखिए, क्रिमिनल केस अगेंस्ट असदुद्दीन आफ्टर AIMIM वर्कर्स बीट अप कांग्रेस लीडर्स. दिस इज डेक्कन क्रॉनिकल थिंग पब्लिश्ड. द पुअर पर्सन हैज गॉन देयर टू डू हिज कैंपेनिंग. असद साहब स्वयं है इसमें देखिए हाउ इज स्टॉपिंग अ कार. And this case has been booked. And on the same, Congress is in hands with Asaduddin.
Do you think that earlier the Congress did not bring it up because of fear of Owaisi Saab or MIM?
तब बात ये है कि then they were not with these people, right? 2019 का है ये बात. तो BRS चल रहा था तब. तो कांग्रेस तो अपोजिशन में था ना. तो चलेगा उनको कुछ भी कहना. तो सच्चाई बाहर निकली है. अब वो लोग साथ आ गए. तो किसको पढ़ा है सच्चाई के बारे में? Nobody is even interested to know this. TRS, आप देखिए, like AIMIM workers beat up Congress and TRS top leader also during the last hours of GHMC polling on Tuesday. He doesn't go back even beating up anybody.
You're bringing up the Razakar issue and
this is the nature of a Razakar. What I'm saying is
correct, but whether you see KCR, whether you see Owaisi Saab, they or even the Congress party, they in Telangana and in Hyderabad, Telangana especially, they say that ये हिंदू मुस्लिम को बार बार खुरेदो मत. आप खुरेदोगे ये बात, रजाकार की बात खुरेदोगे तो आपका वो बीजेपी वाला एजेंडा है पोलराइजेशन का. माधवी जी, आप पे भी ये इल्ज़ाम लगने वाला है कि आप खुरेद रही हैं.
मेरे यहाँ पर एक ही मुद्दा और सवाल है कि अगर मुझे हिंदू मुस्लिम्स के बारे में खुरेदना है तो मैं ट्रिपल तलाक को काम कैसे करती थी? I'm the first person who has donated fund for Triple Talaq, women who have been hit by Triple Talaq. I would not have been in BJP party for the simple basic reason that Modi ji was the man who worked for the upliftment of Muslims and especially Muslim women. I have been working with Muslim NGOs constantly, and for the last 8 years, I have adopted in a very indirect way and helped Madrasas to get food, blankets, medical camps. I've been working with both the religions. My whole concern is that they've been very secular the way they've been troubling both the religions. See, there is other way. We call secular to take care of both. They've been secular not to take care of both. They've perfectly defined in a right way, probably the way they think.
As a Hindu woman, why did you take up the cause of? I mean, it shouldn't be a question. Frankly, I'm feeling odd also asking it.
Please.
But why would you take up the cause of deprived and जो Muslim महिलाएं हैं who are facing atrocities? आप उनकी बात कर रहे हैं, whereas in your area, the Hindu women will be the most oppressed, isn't it? What I would think, because they're minority in that area.
Yes. The reason why I have taken up Muslim women is the beauty about Hindu men, I'll tell you. That they are oppressed by the power there, but not by the family. There's a lot of difference in this.
Okay, explain.
I'll explain again. I mean to say, the Hindu woman who is in Old City or Hyderabad Lok Sabha constituency, they are undergoing issues and problems of suppression by the political system there, not by the family.
Whereas?
In Hindu families, the fathers, the brothers, they all encourage girls to go study, help them to grow in life.
Like you were?
Yes, like I am. Like exactly. For 25 years, I've been in that constituency. I'm an NCC cadet. I was the best athlete. I was .5 rifle shooter. I'm a dancer. I paint. So it's that, my father never stopped me from growing as a dynamic woman. I had issues with, in that matter, we had issues with communal rights and all that being created politically. But family was standing with us.
You had Muslim girls who were studying with you. And was that the reason also you saw that they were not being encouraged by their families?
Surprisingly, the Muslim girls who studied with me, they never wore a burqa.
Okay.
They never wore a burqa. We never knew wearing burqas. My friends coming to schools. We all were like same. Which changed terribly these days. And my classmates, if you have to go back in those days, I would say they were far more little better, because those parents girls whose parents were educated and who were a little more polished side of the colonies, their behavior was very different. When compared to the girls and boys who used to come from the remotest areas of the old city, Purani Basti. That all khatakta tha mujhe, bachpan mein hi khatakta tha. Why so much difference in same Muslim families? Coming from an educated family was very different contrast to the girls and boys coming from an uneducated families who wanted their children to study.
So bachpan se you felt ki kuch karna hai yahan pe?
It was like a fire in me, because I could never understand. We had a colony where we were around 25 houses around a playground. There was only one Muslim house. During the communal riots, 1980s and 1990s, we have requested them that would you feel comfortable staying in a Hindu
this
colony?
This is pre-Telangana, just in case people don't understand. In United Andhra.
It is United Andhra. Perfect. So we have called, in the sense, I've seen all elders calling. My father was part of such things. They called and they've assembled and asked, are you comfortable staying here? Because there were communal riots happening and terrific curfews were happening. Then they what answer? They've said that we are more safe being between you people than going into interior old city where a lot of, their own community people stay there. And they were reluctant to go from there. So we were protecting them.
Okay.
बट रातों जिस प्रकार के डर से हम लोग जी रहे थे, आप थोड़ी सी भी आवाज आए तो पता नहीं कौन कहाँ से भाग के आ रहा है, किस घर में चले जाएगा, किसके सर काटेंगे, किसी के हाथ काटेंगे. तो रात में पहरी चलती थी वहां पर. पीपल यूज्ड टू गो अराउंड विथ लकड़ी लेकर, मिर्ची पाउडर लेकर. बचपन था तो ये देखने में तो एक मूवी का जैसा लगता था, लेकिन एज आई ग्रू अप इट डिडंट गिव मी अ गुड फील. इन विच कंट्री एम आई लिविंग? In what place am I living? And even because आप schooling तो वहाँ आजू बाजू क्या था, just in 500 meters my school was there. So you have not seen outside world. But when you go to intermediate, when you go to graduation, then you see the other constituencies, right? They never had this. So they don't know about all these things. So my experiences were very different from the girls and boys when I was in graduation, post-graduation, who come from other part of the constituencies.
But now, let me come back to the present. When you're going and working with them, I'm not talking about when your name has been announced. I'm talking about...
I'm working since 8 years, much before that.
Correct. Now, when you go out there and you are talking to the Muslim women out there, helping women with Triple Talaq, and not just victims of Triple Talaq, also abandoned, not yet Talaq. That is another category of people who have not been divorced, either through Triple Talaq or through legal methods, which is through a paper. They've just been abandoned. Husbands have left them and gone. Now you go into that area, the way you look also. Let's forget about background. You know, Bindi, one bottu is there, Rudraksh is there, and you know, everything is there. You're so typically a Hindu woman. When you go out there, don't the family say, "Ye kyun aayi hai bhai? Hamare मामले में दखल करने के लिए?"
That's the biggest surprise. Wherever I went, they used to just stare at me like that. And they used to come and forget all their pains and problems. And they used to have a big smile on their face, come sit. And I talk in the typical old city kind of a Urdu.
I want that also later.
And they used to love me. Then I slowly talk about their lives, their family conditions. Talk how should they encourage children. और क्या खाते पीते हैं. न्यूट्रिशियस फूड है नहीं है, नहाते नहीं नहाते हैं. तो I know the ground reality. So I used to go to that level and they used to feel so comfortable. They used to feel that somebody who is very motherly by the nature is sitting between them.
Okay.
That is exactly what I say, that who are these Muslims then? Who are so nice, who are wanting to change. In fact, you know, I can't tell few, I would not want to take any names. When I said that, अरे बाबा आप 7 नहीं 8 नहीं 10 बच्चों को भी जन्म दे दो, लेकिन क्या फायदा है उन बच्चों का जिनको आप पढ़ाई नहीं दे रहे हो. क्या फ़ायदा है उस नंबर का जिसको आप खाना नहीं दे पा रहे हो, ठीक तरह से आप सेहत नहीं दे सकते हो. बच्चे जाके मैकेनिकल शॉप में काम कर रहे हैं, तो क्या फ़ायदा. आप तो माँ हो ना. अभी बाकी के लोग तो नहीं समझ पाए. आप तो समझ सकते हो ना कि मैं माँ हूँ, मैं अपने बच्चों को पढ़ाना चाह रही हूँ. क्या आपको नहीं लगता ऐसा? मैं सवाल करती थी उनसे कि आपको मेरे जैसा बनना नहीं है क्या. यू शुड सी द वे दे बर्स्ट आउट एंड दे स्टार्ट क्राइंग. क्यों नहीं रहता अम्मा, हमको रहता हमारा बच्चा पढ़ना, क्या करें हम लोग, कौन है हमारा बात सुनने वाला. दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई एम सेइंग.
तो कहाँ जाते हैं वो बच्चे फिर? मदरसा है क्या कि स्कूल है? नहीं है.
नो, दिस इज वेयर अगेन आई कम बैक. Article 30 tells us, everybody knows that Article 30 gives a special permission for minorities where you can start a religious school and also give them the modern education. Take either state permission or central permission.
Himanta, Chief Minister of Assam, he came and spoke about that even in Hyderabad, for which they got very angry.
Exactly. Now I question that Asadji, when he talks about the girls wearing scarf as a mandatory to go to a general schools who are not given permission to teach any Hindu religious books vis-a-vis, Article 30 gives all religious minority institutions to open up schools, teach their religion and also respect the sensitivity and particular traditions to be followed by them. Why are you not giving either central government CBSE education or state government education, English education to them? Make them strong doctors, engineers, lawyers. रोके रहे कौन आपको? आप वहाँ नहीं पढ़ाना चाहते हो लोगों को, उसको आप सिर्फ मदरसा बना के छोड़ना चाहते हो. गरीबी में धकेल रहे हो उन बच्चों को. खाना तक नहीं मिलता है उन बच्चों को. वहाँ पे बोरा कम्युनिटी है, आगा खान कम्युनिटी है, आपको शिया कम्युनिटी है, इतने सारे कम्युनिटीज़ है अदर देन सुन्नी कम्युनिटी. एंड all those orphanages and I would say that, look, madrasas are not ever cared and no good modern education is given, is being provided to them in spite of they being protected by Article 30 for the last 70 years. You do not want to utilize that. And there is no provision for Hindus अरे जाति देखिए, look at the atrocities on a Hindu that we can't even teach Bhagavad Gita in the school.
Why? Who's stopping?
We do not have any special such permission there in Constitution. Only they have that. And they do not want to utilize that. And you want to bring the child to the regular normals, I mean, the schools which do not have Article 30 permission, there you want to put a religious attire there. तो बच्चे यहाँ के रिलीजियस अटायर में माइनॉरिटीज आएंगे, समझिए आप, सिख अपने अटायर पे आएंगे वहाँ पर, अभी हिंदू सैफ्रॉन पहन के जाएंगे. बच्चों को क्या सिखाना चाह रहे हैं आप? दैट फाइट टेकिंग अप रिलीजन इन छोटे नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चों के दिमाग में आप क्या डालना चाह रहे हैं? इसीलिए तो आपका आर्टिकल 30 है ना, जाके पढ़ाइए बच्चों को वहाँ पर. उसका अभिवृद्धि तो आप देखते नहीं. The Telangana State Waqf Board में he never represented the voice of Madrasas.
Meetings में?
No. And they do not get proper fund at all. In masjids, the religious heads, you know, 5 times a day they read the namaz. They get 4,000. इतने तो सारे फंड्स पड़े हुए. तो 4,000 में क्या गुजरता उनका घर? He doesn't want to talk all these things. इसके लिए उन्हें प्रोटेस्ट नहीं करते. अपने खुद के कौम के लोगों के लिए जब माइनॉरिटी का डिपार्टमेंट बना हुआ है, आर्टिकल 30 बना हुआ है, आपके लिए वर्क बोर्ड बना हुआ है, इसमें फंड्स है, he doesn't talk about this.
You spoke about the Bora community, Aga Khan community and all. ये लोग, this is the very prosperous community. Right, both these sects of Islam, they're very prosperous. तो उन्होंने भी नहीं बनाया क्या स्कूल वहाँ पे?
It is, see, the whole things goes this way that it is about article. They have made schools, but they made private schools. अब बच्चे कहाँ जा पाएंगे जिनके आर्थिक
गरीब बच्चे. Okay.
You would not believe, Smriti ji, when I went and spoke to these women, they have 6 children or 7 children in the house. उसमें पहला बच्चा गवर्नमेंट स्कूल से शुरू होता है इसके जीवन. तो उनको आजू बाजू लोगों को देखकर, यूट्यूब से रहते हैं ना, देसी दुबई, देसी ऑल दीज पीपल,
वो जाना चाहते हैं. हाँ.
नाउ द मदर गेट्स एक्साइटेड. So poor woman somewhere she tries to work hard and the first kid, girl or boy, with a woman, for a mother, girl, boy really doesn't matter.
Correct.
They'll put in the private school. By the time the first kid is put in private school, the second also has to be put, third also has to be put. But by the time the first kid comes to 6th or 5th class, they would have torn properly with the life conditions. तो पहली बच्चे का पढ़ाई बंद, घर में बैठो. दूसरी बच्चे का पढ़ाई बंद, घर में बैठो. अभी लड़का हुआ तो they then go ahead 2 more classes. After that उसका पढ़ाई बंद, जाओ मैकेनिक शॉप में बैठो. It's not like this happening with one family. Now they have now over a period of time, 40 years. See, it's not 1 or 2 days. Modi ji ke hayam mein, it is the third term. I've done 2 terms. In 2 terms, the kind of yojanas he has brought in, 40 years में, क्या नहीं कर सकते बताइए.
तो वो benefits नहीं गए क्या?
That is another very big surprise. That also I'll open up to you. आप मुझे एक YouTube में से या न्यूज़पेपर में से एक निकाल के दिखाइए जहाँ पे MP साहब असद जी एक भी बैनर लगाते हैं और एक भी प्रोपगेट करते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी का योजना. दिस इज नॉट अबाउट 2 parties. दिस इज अबाउट प्रधानमंत्री जी गिविंग योजनास बेस्ड ऑन द पब्लिक मनी बैक टू पब्लिक. एक एमपी होने के नाते क्या आपका जिम्मेदारी नहीं बनता कि वो योजना का जो भी जितने भी फायदे हैं लोगों तक पहुंचे? यू आर बिहेविंग लाइक एन इंडिविजुअल मैन. You are representing a constituency.
आप वो कचरा के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, तो स्वच्छ भारत आंदोलन के तहत वहाँ पे बाथरूम्स वगैरह नहीं बने, वहाँ पे जो कचरा उठाने के लिए स्वच्छ भारत आंदोलन का नहीं हुआ फायदा.
हाँ, तो वहाँ पे क्या हुआ है, अब वो आंदोलन भी है तो बेचारे बीजेपी वर्कर्स या लोकल कोई कार्यकर्ता को जाना पड़ता है, उसको कचरा उठाना पड़ता है. कोई और नहीं उठाता उनके अलावा कचरा वहाँ पर. अब दूसरे दिन फिर कचरा आ जाती है. I'll tell you one more thing. GHMC has given lot of contracts on an auction, those बंडी निकलने के लिए. अब मैं बताइए 100 रुपए they have to pay for the boy who removes the कचरा. जिसके पास 20,000 है तनख्वाह, 100 रुपए के लिए शायद नहीं सोचता होगा, शायद. जो हर दिन सुबह इंतजार करता है आज का चावल या आज का रोटी निकले, 30 दिन के बाद 100 रुपए के लिए वो फिर तो तड़पेगा ना स्मृति जी। आप वो कहाँ से वो 100 रुपए लाएगा वो कचड़ा उठवाने के लिए? यू टेल मी दैट 100 rupees will again get them ration.
Yeah.
So is it not that by the demographics, by the geographical conditions, by the economical conditions, you are supposed to represent BRS government and the Congress government saying that by हमारे constituency का economical standards ये है, हमारे लोग यहाँ 100 रुपए नहीं दे सकते हैं. Can we have a better alternative for me? तो 40 सालों में लोगों को एक 100 रुपए भी देने के हालात में नहीं रखे आप. Leave everything, स्मृति जी. People there cannot pay 100 rupees to that for the kachada boy, poor fellow who comes. I've spoke to him also, some 10-15 boys. अम्मा जाते हैं 100 रुपए नहीं देते ये लोग, कौन फिरते हैं अम्मा वहाँ पर, हमारा तो ये मोहल्ले लेकर हमारा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी बेकार हो गया, सर पे पड़ा है हम लोगों को गाड़ी का इंस्टॉलमेंट पे करना है.
No incentive.
No, because they have to pay the installments of the vehicles that have taken.
What good will it do for Asad Bhai to keep that area deprived? Why does an MP would want to do that? I'll ask you like a devil's advocate कि क्यों backward रख के उनको क्या मिलेगा, क्यों कर रहे हैं?
This is United Muslim Forum AP and Telangana and it says Jame Masjid Darul Shifa Hyderabad. It is in Urdu. I will translate what has been written. Very important points only. As per Section 5 of Religious Institutions, which comes under Prevention of Misuse, Act 1988, it is very clearly is being explained that no religious institution, either in the form of funds or any other property, even letterhead is a property, you are not supposed to influence a voter on the name of religion or on the name of a party. You cannot be the voice there to either provoke or propagate a party or an party, political party person's interest during election time. Now this says, to make win all Majlis candidates with full majority. The heading starts off like the first line starts like this. The appeal of leading scholars and mashaiks where the Majlis candidates are not there. In the whole state of Telangana, give vote to BRS. How can somebody categorically say this to Muslim, to their people? Who are they to say this? It's an individual's right to decide whether they want to vote BRS, whether they want to vote Congress, whether they want to vote AIMIM, whether they want to vote BJP.
This is for the assembly election it was done? The
Yes,
year.
yes. I'm sure very soon it will come up for the Lok Sabha also. This is जो अभी गुजरा है ना.
And no action was taken under CEC or anybody?
दम अभी दिखाएंगे कौन ये सब. हम आगे यहाँ पर आपको दिखा रहे हैं इसीलिए. Hence in our Hyderabad, the total opinion, a strong and emphasis is on appeal. That religiously with responsibility. The words have been properly used. Their precious vote to be given to the candidate of the All India Muslim League. And to press the button to the kite. Now you tell me what do I have to talk. And it is signed by Hazrat Maulana Hassan Ibrahim Chisti, Hazrat Maulana Shah Qadri. If you people get it translated, here is the original Urdu and this is the translated English. अब आप बताइए, where is democracy in this constituency?
But will people do this? If a fatwa comes out, क्या करेंगे क्या?
नहीं. Because that is exactly what I'm saying, that when a religious head talks about it, there is a kind of influence on human beings.
ये कश्मीर में होता था, सुनते
तो
थे.
हमारा हैदराबाद कौन सा कम है स्मृति जी कश्मीर से? शायद हम उसके बाप भी निकले. हम किसी से कम नहीं. हम तो एक से बढ़कर हीरो हैं हम वहाँ पर.
तो वहाँ पे भी असर होता है कि अगर मस्जिदों से फतवा निकले तो लोग उसी हिसाब से वोट
मैं
डालेंगे.
ये फतवा नहीं कहूंगी. I would say
Advice.
that it is an
Advisory.
Advisory. They've also used some appeal. Appeal to the leading scholars. And इसके पीछे आपको signatures की and they all talk about सालार मिलत एजुकेशनल ट्रस्टीज ने ये किया, दारुसलाम एजुकेशन से मजलिस ने ये किया, वो किया. They continuously are influencing in this 4 papers the greatness of Majlis and saying that in case you would not find this party in your respected constituency, then please vote BRS. And I'll go further on this also, where they go to say that they've come up with one more thing. They've even declared कि कौन से constituency में, assembly के constituency में आप किसको support करना चाहिए. I'll show that also to you.
बट मेरे को एक बात बताइए कि इसमें कोई हिंदू संत महात्मा नहीं है जो कहते हैं कि बीजेपी को ही वोट कीजिए, बिकॉज दैट विल ऑल्सो बी रॉन्ग. ऐसे होता है क्या?
आपको मैं एक बात बताती हूँ कि we all stand by the rules and regulations so strictly. You ask me why? Okay. We are all human beings. I'm not saying we are perfect. Recently, I have been to one SBI, I mean a bank colony in Malakpet, which is supposed to be assembly constituency of Hyderabad Lok Sabha. The local people have called me because earlier coming to this, I was a pravachan karta. I used to talk about the good side of the religion, that dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. And we say Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. We never said that Manav is a Muslim Manav, Sikh Manav, Christian Manav. So Manav is Manav. And for us, Manav is citizen of this nation. So I keep on talking about helping women, and primarily women, because for me, a woman is a mother. And all of us give birth in the same way. The pain is same for all of us. So I am a very strong supporter of Muslim women. So I wanted, if there is hatred that has been created because of the political rivalries, I try to calm down. So a lot of Hindu doctors and the fraternity of ours go and work along with me in the Muslim areas. This is my basic thing, that I also, because we also have something called Virinchi as a hospital in Hyderabad, headed by my husband. We have almost 50% of employees Muslims with us. And all of them, we give iftar an entire month of Ramzan. We give them the Ramzan iftar facility, and the food we provide them so that they shouldn't find it difficult to catering to their services in the hospital. We are very secular. So I exactly know, I interact with our doctors. Really, really nice, and there's a great friendly relationship between us. You would be surprised, Mitaji, for the last 2-3 days, there are almost 15 to 16 policemen who have started haunting me wherever I go, and they take videos. Same thing doesn't happen with them. आपको उनका एक वीडियो बाहर निकलवाने के लिए बताइए. This Friday, Jama Masjid में the political person of their own party has declared that I'm going to have a speech in Jama Masjid. You will not get that out. This is the atrocity there. आप अन्याय से लड़ सकते हो अगर वो एक इंसान से, एक पार्टी से है, लेकिन अगर वही पार्टी वहाँ के लोकल स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से मिल जाएगा, आप किससे लड़ोगे? तो मे बी क्या ऐसा हिम्मत करोगे आप उसके लिए?
मे बी द पुलिस इज फॉर योर प्रोटेक्शन, बिकॉज लोगों ने ये भी बात फैलाई थी कि अगर आप कुछ इलाकों में जो नो गो एरियाज माना जाता था फॉर हिंदू वीमेन, अगर आप उस एरिया में जाएंगे तो आपकी स्टोनिंग होगी.
मैं तो हिंदू एरिया में बता रही हूँ साहब, जो हिंदूज ने एकत्रित हुए थे एक जगह पे. अच्छा, मैं मुदिराज के मीटिंग पे थी, टॉक अबाउट द इंटरनेशनल वुमेन डे. अब बताइए वहाँ पे क्या है, उनके 15 लोगों की क्या जरूरत थी वहाँ पे? आई एम बीइंग आइड, आई एम बीइंग ऑब्जर्व्ड नाउ कि कहाँ मिलेगी औरत हम लोगों को. They create that kind of, breathlessness onto you. They watch on you to see that कहाँ मिलेगी this lady to us.
आपको डर तो नहीं बोलूँगी because it's quite obvious you're fearless, लेकिन थोड़ा सा वो लगता है कि you feel curtailed in some manner.
No, I feel that this is extent somebody can fall down, Smriti ji. I'm happy they are scared, not me. I am not haunting them, right? They are. So that means my truth और मेरा सच्चाई लोगों के बीच में जाने लग गई है, जिसकी डर है उन लोगों को. मेरे तो I'm started already winning the story.
You did a lot of work for cleaning up the temples, for bringing their the piousness of the temples.
I've
वो भी
even cleaned
बताओ.
up the drainage system also in front of madrasas.
Yeah.
I've done both the works. मैंने उस ओवरफ्लोइंग ड्रेनेज में अपना पैर रखकर मैं चली थी वहां पर. आई वॉकड इन दैट ओवरफ्लोइंग ड्रेनेज वेयर स्मॉल लिटिल मदरसा किड्स कम आउट. व्हेन आई वेंट टू गिव देम गिफ्ट ऑफ फ्रिज, आई गिफ्टेड अ रेफ्रिजरेटर विथ आइसक्रीम्स. स्मॉल लिटिल चिल्ड्रन. अब आप बताइए वो मजहब क्या जानता है वो बच्चा. दे कम एंड दे हग मी एंड आई ऑल्सो क्लीन्ड अप टेम्पल्स. I want to show, I want to tell, I want to explain and bring up truth that वो आम मुसलमान जो जी रहा है उसको he has nothing in his mind.
That child won't know Hindu from Muslim, only knows the ice cream.
Yes, and but वही another madrasa था जो राजेंद्र नगर में है, which doesn't fall into the Lok Sabha constituency where I have been given an opportunity to stand. Earlier I helped that madrasa also. This time they again asked me for a help during iftar. I have only told one thing. हाँ कर देंगे मौलाना साहब, लेकिन हम एक फोटो ले लेंगे. You know the answer the मौलाना gives us? पैर तोड़ूंगा, हाथ पैर तोड़ूंगा अगर कोई आके हमारा फोटो लिए तो. Now look at the language the मौलाना uses for us.
Why doesn't he want a photo?
He's scared. He's scared. Next day his survival goes to dogs, and he knows what happens to me next day from whomever it has to happen. मुझे गुस्सा नहीं आया, मुझे तरस आया उनके जीवन विधान पर और स्टेट ऑफ माइंड पर, स्टेट ऑफ लाइफ कंडीशंस पर. बच्चों के एक तरफ से इफ्तार की खाना नहीं है बच्चों को, एंड दे कैन ओनली टेक इट सीक्रेटली. They can't even come up with a picture. And he wants to talk about minorities. अच्छा, मैं और एक सवाल करती हूँ आपसे. Okay, he represents minority. He represents only Muslim minority? Or he will represent as an MP any minority of his constituency? Then he has to represent Hindu minority because population wise वहाँ पे Hindus minority में है. आप गला चीख चीख के फाड़ फाड़ कर बोलते हो ना मुसलमान माइनॉरिटीज़ है, तो क्या हिंदू भी माइनॉरिटीज़ है ना वहाँ पर? तो आप उनके लिए कभी गला नहीं फाड़ोगे. अच्छा, सिख भाइयों के लिए गला नहीं फाड़ोगे. अच्छा, तो जैन्स के लिए गला नहीं फाड़ोगे आप. तो किसके लिए गला फाड़ोगे? उनके लिए जिनका संख्या ज़्यादा है. अच्छा, उनके लिए भी कहाँ गला फाड़ रहे हो आप? मोदी भाई ट्रिपल तलाक बोले, आप नकार है उसको. थ्रू यूसीसी ही वांट्स टू गिव इक्वल राइट्स टू वुमेन. यू आर अगेंस्ट इट. 33.3 रिजर्वेशन बोले, उसमें आप फिर टांग अड़ाते हो ये बोल करके हमारे मुस्लिम औरतों के इसके अंदर कितना है और ज़्यादा कितना परसेंटेज आप डिक्लेयर करोगे. ठीक है, आपने सवाल किया है, आपने क्या कर दिखाया है? 8 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज है वहाँ पर, एक को तो दे दी होती जैसे हमारे मोदी भाई हमको दिया है. इट इज़ नॉट येट इम्प्लीमेंटेड बट ही हैज स्टार्टेड एज अ प्रिंसिपल, राइट? कौन रोक रहा है भाई आपको? आप मिसाल बन के दिखाइए ना, मिसाल बन के दिखाइए ना आप. Why didn't you give? It is just because he has declared himself as ekmatra, the only one who is representing country's minority Muslim section.
But that's because the the percentage of Muslims in our country, and you see their political representation कितना कम है. तो कम से कम एक असद भाई तो हैं जो कर रहे हैं
तो
represent.
अकेले
हाँ,
तो उनके सारे सीटों में औरतों को नहीं लगाएंगे वो लोग. उनके एटलीस्ट जो 33 पॉइंट पे अभी मोदी जी का 33 पॉइंट टोटल वुमेन रिजर्वेशन में और मुसलमान के लिए पूछ रहे हैं, जिसका पार्टी ही माइनॉरिटी पार्टी है, मुस्लिम पार्टी है. तो आप करके दिखाइए ना, क्यों पहले आप नहीं बन सकते? सवाल किस लिए?
In Karnataka, there was a Muslim woman that he had positioned to fight the elections. एक थी वहाँ पे, मैंने
थी आपका भी याददाश्त देखिए. थी तो वो चरित्र, she has gone in the इतिहास somewhere.
Yes. She didn't win, of course.
No, it's not about winning or losing.
हाँ.
The kind of percentage that you're demanding for Muslim women in 33.3 across the country, where women in toto, according to Modi Bhai, have been declared as minority. Because women needs to get that opportunity to grow. देन आपका पार्टी तो आपकी मर्जी है ना।
आपकी जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में जब आपका नाम अनाउंस हुआ था ना, तो काफ़ी सारे लोग बोल रहे थे कि हाँ ये बीजेपी में है नहीं, पर इन्होंने जो दूषित मंदिरों को फिर से आपने रीस्टार्टेड द होल प्रोसेस, तो इसकी वजह से बीजेपी इज़ वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ यू। तो वो दो अलग अलग किस्से हैं, बट इसके बारे में बताइए कि मंदिरों का क्या किस्सा है वहाँ पे।
मंदिरों का इतना बुरी हालत है। एक मंदिर है जिसका नाम काशी बुग्गा है, जहाँ पर शिव जी बहुत नीचे रहते हैं और उनके पास है 24/7 धारा चलती रहती है पानी का, विच इज अ वेरी बिग सरप्राइज। जो मूसी का जो अभी एकदम तो बंद ही हो गया और खराब भी हो गया, उसके तट पर है ये।
ओके।
उसका तकरीबन 60 से 70 एकड़ का लैंड था एक ज़माने में। आज सिर्फ 5 एकड़ बचा उसमें बिकॉज ऑफ इलीगल ऑक्यूपेशन ऑफ द अदर कम्युनिटी। और वो कई साल बंद पड़ा हुआ था। एंड आई डोंट वांट टू टॉक एनीथिंग मोर देन दिस बिकॉज इट विल ओनली प्रोवोक द एंटायर नेशन इफ दे डोंट नो द ट्रूथ। इतनी बुरी हालत हो गई थी वहाँ पर उस मंदिर का कि जाकर उसके खोलने तक नहीं दिए। द लोकल भक्त जो वहाँ पे थे, दे हैव fought, were beaten up with great difficulty. They had to open it. So I am like, wherever there is an issue like this and people don't, they want to prove their courageous, they want to uplift their dharma, they invite me. I go, I do puja there, I encourage people there. Like that, there are so many temples. Bahadurpura, which has around 180,000 votes Muslims, and you just, in spite of 60,000 votes of Hindus, all the time they keep it as 33 to 35,000 Hindu votes. ना तो वो एक अलग ही अपने आप एक किस्सा है कि
कैसे करते हैं
हिंदू के वोट्स डिलीट कर देते हैं इन वक्त पर, जस्ट बिफोर द इलेक्शंस।
Why doesn't it make news?
न्यूज़ कौन लाएंगे? आज आप ये न्यूज़ के बारे में बता रहे हैं, कितने बार ईडी राइड हुआ है ऑन द कंपनीज हु हैव आउटरेटेडली सपोर्टेड असदुद्दीन जी। ईडी, जैसे कि कविता जी का जो ऊपर जो ईडी हुआ था ना, कितना बड़ा आवाज निकला बाहर। इनके ऊपर ईडी हुआ, एक इनकम टैक्स राइड हुआ, देयर इज नो साउंड। एंड दिस आर वन ऑफ दोस very, very rich businessmen in Hyderabad Old City Constituency who have almost more than half a dozen companies. IT seizures, rupees 2 crores, real estate, IT raids at Kohinoor firm.
रेड तो उसमें गलत क्या है? रेड हो गया। You're saying media is not covering. मीडिया के
आज तक मैं लेके आऊँ तो ये आपको पता चलेगा। Like India Today, tax raids at home office premises of Hyderabad-based real estate firms. The income tax department suspects that large amount of unaccounted money is being provided to political party. And these people during COVID, I can send you the screenshot of my mobile. They say that Asadji wanted us to, Asadji has sent this ration to you people during COVID. Now, the political people know better than me that how this is possible. Now, this is Asaduddin ke instructions par Kings Group ne तकसीम किए रेशन किट्स। ना यही लोग है, यही लोग है इनमें से एक बंदे को जिसने एक नक्सलाइट ने किडनैप कर लिया है, उसके बाद शाम तक वो बंदा शूट होकर मर भी गया है। नाउ हु हैज टू कनेक्ट दिस डॉट्स? There will be a big silence, Smita ji.
Tell me about the voter list thing which you were talking about.
Now,
कि नाम नहीं आता, because that is very concerning, because we are just like less than a month for the elections now.
I wish the entire country reacts on this also, because we've got tired and fed up giving multiple times our requisitions to GHMC.
What is GHMC for people who don't
Greater
understand?
Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, which is under Telangana state in Hyderabad capital city. So election commission also has to guide us, divert it to GHMC. As such, election commission wouldn't do this job. So अगर आप copy election commission को देना चाह रहे हो तो भी वो कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. It has again guide back to the GHMC, which is under control of the GHMC commissioner. Now I'll show you one. This is electoral roll.
So you're saying that GHMC is
Doesn't
hand in
work.
glove
Yes, I'll prove that also.
with the political party of the
Yes,
day, which is
which started
Congress
off with
or
the BRS and now Congress with everybody.
and they work in tandem with your
AIMIM and I'll tell you very openly. I'm not worried. I'm not scared because nothing can bribe me in my life. Electoral roll 2024 to 29 Telangana. Part number is a polling booth number 157. 66 Charminar general में आता है ये. This is what comes from Election Commission. If you see, this is a rounded one. And this particular thing is 11457 and STC 1810407 is the the voters code number. The lady's name is Fizza Begum. She is now 102 years. Okay? And this is as of now निकाला गया 7/2/2024 में निकाला गया है.
okay this year,
This year. This lady is dead in 2022 June 19.
that's her death certificate.
Yes, and her vote still exists.
तो नहीं वोट करेंगी ना, नहीं है तो कैसे वोट करेंगी फिर?
हाँ, तो फिर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट ये है कि असेंबली इलेक्शंस के टाइम पर there is one gentleman by name Feroz Khan who has been given Nampalli constituency, which falls again in Telangana state, Hyderabad zone, ticket to represent Congress, the BRS government. This, while I have also been working for the last 1 year, मैं और एक भी आपको दिखा दूंगी जो हमारे काम में हमने किया है. He has applied with entire this information saying that please delete these votes in detail. He has submitted to Chief Minister, to GHMC and a copy to Election Commission. Election Commission has directed it to GHMC. Why have they not deleted in 2023 when he has given this? There is one more female, one more person with 92 years gender. And this is their death certificate. I am questioning that when the information has been given with such kind of a proof in detail by Feroz Khan ji. You just open his videos. He has been asking for it.
No, but
He has submitted all this information in 2023.
Their names are there. So are you fearful कि bogus voting होगा?
100%. I'll tell you one more thing. Servers down हो जाते हैं. आपके polling booth has to follow some geographical norms. They would be in such small lanes that the approach itself looks so dangerous.
You have said, and I'm quoting, I request the Election Commission to allow live streaming of voting process and urge the EC and police to deploy adequate force.
Yes.
So live streaming से क्या होगा इससे?
तो आपको पता तो चलेगा ना कि कितने सारे लोग आ रहे, दरवाजे बंद कर रहे, नहीं बंद कर रहे, कौन से टाइम पे रिगिंग चल रहा है. Unless you are not 24/7, it is the rule that a webcam is placed there and you should have the live streaming.
हाँ, तो ये तो होता है as a process, right?
As a process ये होना चाहिए. तो सर्वर डाउन के बाद आप सुनते ही रहते, मगर ये बाहर कभी नहीं आया. Now it is me who has been openly talking about the server down. I doubt even this will be taken care now because just exactly I'm saying like the Feroz. This is a kind of level at which he submitted in 2023. अगर ये February में निकला, my question is only one thing. When this information, this electoral information, the printout has been taken
by Feroz Khan.
नहीं, by me.
हाँ, by you. हाँ.
By me in February this 2024.
हाँ.
जब वो 23 में सबमिट किया, ये डिलीट नहीं क्यों हुआ आज तक? इज माई क्वेश्चन. डिलीट हो जाना चाहिए था ना.
And this is not EC's fault. This is the municipal corporation.
Because the GHMC will take the enrollments, right?
Correct.
EC only will direct them. आप करिए.
हाँ.
That's the reason I had to raise my voice till Central Election Commission. Because local election commission has its own kind of, क्या बोलते हैं, rules or restrictions, whatever it is, it's their kind of human power. Human resources will be very restricted.
You also ask for more forces. What are you scared of in the that people दरवाजे बंद करके, like we one had seen in पंचायत elections in West Bengal, कि लोग दरवाजे बंद करके रखते हैं क्या, कि जाने नहीं
दरवाजा
देंगे.
बंद करके बाहर पुलिस वाला ठहरा हुआ रहता है, वो पहरेदार करते रहता है बाई गेट के बाहर, ताकि कोई अंदर नहीं जाए और उन लोगों को डिस्टर्ब ना करे. रिगिंग करने वाले को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना चाहिए ना, तो नहीं करते. बहुत रिस्पेक्ट होता है.
I need to write hashtag sarcasm out here.
नहीं, मैंने रिस्पेक्ट देना पड़ता है, तो दे रिस्पेक्ट देम.
हाँ.
And I'll show you on a house there are so many votes जहाँ पर आपको इतनी छोटी सी घर रहती है. I mean like not even 10 by 10. You will have some 50-60 votes on that particular house. See, I've carried so much. It's like I don't know how much more even I have to carry. Bahadurpura. This is like by the house number. How many votes are there per house? On one house number, there are 278 votes, 208 votes, 154 votes, 149 votes. And these houses will be not more than this room that we are both sitting.
And there are two. तो ये वेरिफिकेशन नहीं हुआ?
कौन करेगा बताइए? हिंदू स्मशान के ऊपर 40 मुसलमान वोट्स है.
वो स्मशान भूमि में रहते हैं क्या?
पार्टी करते होंगे, किसको पता है जी. मैंने तो रात में गई नहीं.
ये आपके कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में है?
यस, इन माय प्रॉपर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी.
और आप गए उधर, देखा आपने?
हाँ, देखा है मैंने. That's the reason now I think it's of no point even talking these things to state government, because they've openly declared that we and Asaduddin are in hands. अब बताइए अब क्या. वो किशोर कुमार जी का बहुत पुराना गाना है, चिंगारी जो बढ़के, तो हमारा हालत तो यही हो गया.
पर अब तो कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट है, बीआरएस नहीं है, मामा भांजा पार्टी नहीं है.
मामा भांजा चले गए, भाई भाई है वहां पर.
तो अभी सीएम उनके साथ हैं क्या?
अभी हम क्या बताएं साहब, कौन किसके साथ है, क्योंकि अगर कोई किसी का साथ नहीं है वहां पर, आपके खुद के एमएलए तो है ना फिरोज खान जी, हमारे तो है नहीं. चलिए वैसा बात कर लेते. फिरोज खान हमारे नहीं है, कांग्रेस के हैं. नामपल्ली में असेंबली में टिकट दिया गया उनको. He submitted entire data to you, which he openly has spoke. He has given a letter to Telangana government. Please kindly look into this. There are 6,20,027,000 bogus votes. कितने प्रकार के हैं? फोटो सिमिलैरिटी, यानी 2 फोटोज एक. अच्छा, I'll show you one more beauty. As I talk only because I'll show you. You would be thrilled looking at it. Look at this voter ID. ये नन्ना सा बच्चा देखिए. आपने कहीं देखा है ऐसा वोटर आईडी?
It must be fraud, no, माधवी जी. How can that be?
तो फिर आप बार कोड के सहित इलेक्शन कमीशन के साइट पे जाइए, आपको मिलेगा ये. अरे वाह, आप तो मुझे ये डरा रहे हो आप. And I'm scared whether, look at this, इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया और जो जीएचएमसी से अपलोड हो जाते हैं.
फेक न्यूज़ तो नहीं है ये कहीं?
तो आपको मैं फॉरवर्ड कर दूंगी आपके, नहीं तो आपके लैपटॉप में मैं ओपन करके दिखा दूंगी आपको. ये कौन सी बड़ी बात है. आप लेके जाइए, एपिक नंबर लेके ले लीजिए.
But when they go to the voting booth और ये छोटा बच्चा का फोटो लगाएंगे
तो देखने वाला कौन है? यही तो रिगिंग कह रही हूँ ना मैं. तो उनको फर्क क्या पड़ेगा? अच्छा, किसने आज तक आधार कार्ड मैंडेटरी कहाँ बनाया गया बताइए आप?
नहीं, पर आपका बंदा भी तो होगा ना इन द पोलिंग बूथ.
मारपीट भी होगा उसके साथ. क्या घर वापस नहीं जाना है? उसके बीवी बच्चे नहीं रहते, अम्मा पापा नहीं रहते. आई हैव 1127 क्रिटिकल वनरेबल पोलिंग बूथ्स. बताएं हमारे एजेंट्स को कौन बचाएगा? मैं अकेले बचा पाऊंगी स्मिता जी? मैं बचा पाऊंगी अकेले? मैं अकेले एक जगह मर सकती हूँ, 1127 पोलिंग बूथ्स में तो नहीं मरूंगी ना. एक जगह गई तो गई मैं.
Is this the reason why you don't have any MLAs in that area? Only one MLA BJP has.
Absolutely. आप जी तो. अच्छा, याकुतपुरा में MBT ने खड़ा, they've stood there. They have put such a terrible fight. They still lost by 800 votes. I'll tell you why this happens. During election time, on the day of polling, there will be a channel which opens up on that one day. I'll give you that name of that channel also very soon. That channel has only one work. वो एक ही दिन के लिए आता है, एक दिन के लिए गायब हो जाता है वो
टीवी चैनल.
हाँ, वो तो क्यों? बिकॉज दैट रन्स ऑन अ लोकल सिटी चैनल, वो केबल के तरफ से. They keep telling दोपहर तक सिर्फ 27% पोलिंग हुआ, 27% पोलिंग हुआ, उठो मजहब के नाम से, चलो आप वोट डालना पड़ेगा, इन द प्रोवोक। जो दोपहर तक 27% है, तकरीबन 2-3 बजे तक, 6 बजे के 3 घंटे में आपको वो 76% कैसा हो जा रहा है?
पर अगर वो कह रहे हैं कि वोट देने जाओ, ये तो नहीं कह रहे कि किसको वोट दो, या वो भी कह रहे हैं?
नहीं, वो कहते हैं अरे वाह, तो 27% किसका है? Then they tell, they insist. The religious people talk.
Will you do counter? Will you also put up a channel? Will you also अगर
वो सब करना है तो स्मृति जी, मैं यहाँ आके इतना गला क्यों फाड़ना है मेरे को?
So you will do...
I would be silent. I will say असद जी आप अपना तरफ काम करिए, मैं मेरा तरफ का काम करूंगी. I want the real adult franchisee to happen. आज भी मैंने कभी भी ये नहीं कहती हूँ वोट मुझे दीजिए. 40 साल का अपने जिंदगी को एक बार समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. 40 सालों में वो जहाँ का वहाँ रह गया है. People only talk about one Charminar. There are temples which are monuments. Yes, 800 to 1000 years का अगर एक मंदिर बन गया है तो बताइए वो क्या है? It's an historical place. Did you ever hear Asad ji talking about even one historical place other than Charminar? गोलकोंडा किले में 1000 साल का टेम्पल है. It's not about religious institution. It is about, it's part of the history where Shivaji, छत्रपति शिवाजी जी स्वयं आए थे. अगर आप छत्रपति शिवाजी को you want to look at as a Hindu, or you would look at as a historical warrior, how you're supposed to look at him? He is the first guy who ever wanted to say, don't succumb to slavery. Independence, स्वतंत्र राज. वहां से तो निनाद शुरू हुआ है ना, the slogan, whole thing. He has no respect for any of these people. I have never heard him talking. At least हम लोग 1000 बार बोलते हैं ना, अब्दुल कलाम जी, प्रेसिडेंट, अजहरुद्दीन हमारा क्रिकेटर. We keep talking about all these people. He talks about so much of constitution. Why doesn't he talk about 1988 Act and religious interference into all this? Why doesn't he talk about Article 30 for the last 75 years not being utilized by madrasas and making those lovely young small little children, doctors, engineers, take the work board entire fund, uplift them? Why? Why does he only talk about those things which would not even exist and put them into a fear factor? NASSCOM last year has given a data saying that in the entire country, 3 lakh IT jobs every year, are they produce. I mean, the requirement comes up, out of which 40%, यानी कि 1,20,000 IT जॉब सिर्फ हैदराबाद में भर्ती हो जाते हैं. ये हैदराबाद क्या है? कैपिटल सिटी हैदराबाद के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ मैं, लोकसभा हैदराबाद के बारे में नहीं. तो होल कंट्री गेट्स कंफ्यूज्ड. सो आई कीप ऑन टेलिंग दिस, प्लीज बेयर विथ मी. हैदराबाद जो पुराना बस्ती बोलते हैं, वहां से 2% के भी लोग ने फिल करते हैं ये 1,20,000 के नौकरियां. अगर किसी ने भी आईटी में जॉब ले लिया है, इमीडिएटली चेंज द हाउस फ्रॉम पुराना बस्ती, बिकॉज दे फील द स्टैंडर्ड्स देयर आर सो पैथेटिक एंड लो. दे फील इंसल्टेड टू से दैट आई स्टे इन सम बस्ती, एंड बिकॉज फ्रेंड्स घर आते हैं तो आप उस माहौल में रह रहे हो, तो क्यों आएंगे आपके घर कोई? So the traffic is stopped. What I mean to say, the movement of people from the old new city is stopped to old city by keeping it low. आप ये कैसा बताइए? Neither you have a cultural institute there, nor you have a skill kind of a good university or educational system institutes there. आप मुफक्कम जा भी तो इस तरफ है ना.
तो ट्रैफिक मतलब फ्लाईओवर बना दिया कि आप उधर से जाओ.
नहीं, कोई फ्लाईओवर है ही नहीं. मेरे कहने का मतलब है ऐसा कोई इंटरेस्टिंग डेवलपमेंट वहां पे नहीं है जिसके वजह से न्यू सिटी से स्टूडेंट्स नहीं जाते, नौकरियों के लिए नहीं जाते. हाँ, किस प्रकार के जाते? साइकिल का काम करने के लिए, या छोटे मोटे शॉप्स में 10th पास 11th पास जो लड़कियां रहते हैं ना, नौकरियों के लिए जाते हैं. All that labor and a low end of living of jobs only. But you would never have that, white collar, a kind of a job that you're happy. यूनानी को वहां से हटा के फेंक दिए है, यूनानी हॉस्पिटल को. आप वहां से आयुर्वेदम को निकाल के फेंक दिए है. अभी क्या कहते हैं, हाई कोर्ट को निकाल के आप फेंक रहे हो. कभी आपने सुना है डेवलपमेंट माने फेंक के बाहर निकाल के फेंकना? अब ये तो नया डेफिनेशन ऑफ डेवलपमेंट हो गया है.
पर फिर भी माधवी जी अगर आप बात करें वहाँ पे लोगों को कहेंगे यहाँ पे देर इज़ नो चांस फॉर माधवी जी बिकॉज असदुद्दीन ओवैसी बहुत पॉपुलर हैं, वो सबके साथ बना के रखते हैं, तो माधवी जी को ये तोड़ना मुश्किल होगा क्योंकि इनकी पॉपुलैरिटी बहुत है। आप कह रहे हैं फियर फैक्टर, पर वो कह रहे हैं पॉपुलैरिटी बहुत है। सो टेल मी नाउ।
आई सी भाई, आप जब बोलोगे पूछोगे असद जी के बारे में तो असद जी थोड़ी, और असद जी के चाहने वाले जितने भी लोग हैं थोड़ी बताएंगे वो डर है, तब तो खुद मान लिया बात हो गया ना, थोड़ी बोलेंगे। औरंगजेब के बारे में भी उनके चाहने वाले, उनके दरबार के वाले भी नहीं बोलेंगे औरंगजेब के बारे में, लेकिन हमें पता है ना औरंगजेब जी बोलना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि अभी क्या करे, एवरीबडी नोज हु इज औरंगजेब इज राइट. In the same way, now whether Madhavi Latha can win this elections or not, I would say yes, very, very much, with all kind of an authority and with kind of, the strength, I would say, because in 40 years, you have just give them insult, insecurity and poverty. एक 500,000 लोगों को पीछे डाल के फिरने से स्मिता जी एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी नहीं बनता है. For everything, when you cross a point of injustice, there comes time to show what justice is. If Britishers, don't we know how powerful Britishers were? So did we not get our independence?
माधवी जी, आपकी पार्टी आपके साथ है क्या सब लोग? क्योंकि जो लोग 20 साल से 25 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, इंस्टेड ऑफ नॉमिनेटिंग देम दे नॉमिनेटेड समबडी हु वाजंट इवन इन द पार्टी. यू हैव डन अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट. आपका सोशल सर्विस सब जानते हैं, उधर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में भी जानते हैं और बीजेपी वाले भी जानते हैं, लेकिन पार्टी के लिए काम नहीं किया आपने. और इन दैट वे यू आर अ पॉलिटिकल नॉविस ना, तो आपके पार्टी में आप कैसे कॉन्फिडेंस जगाएंगे कि आपके लिए काम करें?
What is party, Smita ji? End of the day, set of ideologies. है नहीं ये बात. तो if you are carrying ideologies, then who are you? मैंने जब तरुण चुग जी से पहली बार जब मैं यहाँ पे आई थी, मेरा टिकट अनाउंस हो जाने के बाद the next day I was here. I went to party office because I felt that it may sound very emotional, but I suddenly felt it was like, temple for me because किसी ने मुझे देखा तक नहीं. And I was emotionally touched. For the first time as a common citizen and as a woman, I felt that, वाह, ये है मोदी जी, ये है हामिद भाई, ये है नड्डा जी. The set of people, पता नहीं किसने डिसीजन लिया, जिसने भी लिया है इकट्ठा या एक, they moved a normal common citizen and a woman of this nation. So I wanted to go, my kind of, what you would say, my, जो जी नमस्कार, जो नमन आप करना चाहते हो पार्टी ऑफिस के. when I went there, तरुण चुग जी वहाँ बताए, आपके RNADM में, सफ्रॉन है. इसका मतलब है यू आर रनिंग फॉर धर्मा. क्या बस एक कपड़ा बोलेगा आप कौन है, तो लीजिए हम आपको पहना देते हैं. लुक एट द लेवल एट विच दे थिंक. किसी को आईडी कार्ड नहीं मिलता है स्मिता जी अच्छे काम करने के. आईडी कार्ड पहनने वाला अच्छा काम करता है, जो आईडी कार्ड नहीं पहनता है वो अच्छा काम नहीं करता है. मुझे पता नहीं ऐसे कहाँ होते हैं. अंडर मोदी जी एंड अमित जी एंड ऑल दोज ग्रेट स्टालवर्ट्स, वी have realized and understood the way the kind of decisions they've taken in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and all these places, that what matters to be in politics is whether you would want to live and die for your people. And this philosophy, if you have, you are a born politician.
So was dharma different for you before 2024, and is dharma different for you now? What is your dharma?
Dharma doesn't come overnight, Smita ji. Dharma comes when you live your life and see the ups and downs when you're following dharma. When I have come out in 2024, I've been for 18 years working with charitable activities through 3 foundations. 3 foundations say the kind of works that I have done is laid 2,000 and odd road dividers with radium stickers. I was the first person in Hyderabad to have 2 road dividers, these things, so that the bike riders don't hit and die during night. Then we have done almost like we have supported a couple of hospitals, private hospitals, to help the infants survive. Almost 2 to 3 crores we have to spend every year to help them to survive. जिन के पास ट्रिपलेट्स क्वाड्रुपलेट्स बच्चे होते थे वो छोड़ के चले जाना चाहते थे, 5 साल तक उनको हर महीना हमारे ट्रस्ट से 5,000 से 10,000 के रुपए उनके घर जाते थे. We have got 2,000 odd restrooms constructed under Modi ji scheme. We have put our personal money with the central government help to get almost 2,000 restrooms constructed. 3,000 and odd आंगनवाड़ी स्कूल्स में हम लोगों ने पानी डलवाया है, लाइब्रेरीज बनवाई है और वहाँ के इलेक्ट्रिकल पोल्स और लाइटिंग का फैसिलिटेट हमने करवाया है गवर्नमेंट से मिलकर काम करके. We have adopted a village for pregnancy for women and we have almost helped and facilitated medicines and healthy food nourishment for 10,000 women. I have declared 1,008 normal deliveries free for entire old city women who are below white ration card or below white ration card. If I keep saying this, it's unending. We've helped madrasas. I have madrasas by giving food, medical camps, everything. In all the areas we have of Old City Lok Sabha constituency, till date in a year's span, I would have conducted to 500 to 600 free medical camps and distributed medicines. You need to grow to even understand how the people are there living. You need to be matured. जब तक आप उनके बीच नहीं जाओगे. And I have done 45 days of Mahayagna, which we titled as Bharat Bhagya Samriddhi Yagna in the old city in Sitaram Bagh Mandir, which is 700 years old मंदिर, and जिसका कब्जा भी एक जगह से हो गया था मस्जिद वालों से, और कचड़ा भी पड़ा हुआ है. We've got it cleaned and we have done 45 days Yagna, Bharat Bhagya Samriddhi Yagna, in which we have done Sahasra Chandi Sahita Atirudra Kameshwari Yagna, in the best interest of the Bhagyanagar and the best interest of the country. I grew in all these years. And I also had to take care of my family and my children. Because what is very important for a mother is what principles, etiquettes and humanity you've taught your own children.
When researching, I got to know about you know what you did with your children. You did homeschooling of your children, and your elder daughter got into IIT, and subsequently the son also got into IIT with homeschooling. Why did you take this decision, if I may ask, of doing
Me
this?
and my husband is also an IITian from Chennai, and we both are die-hard lovers of children. Like it's like I have 3 children. So कभी भी मेरे बच्चे रोते स्कूल नहीं जाना था, वो बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट था.
अच्छा.
कब नहीं रोते बच्चे, तो मुझे रोना नहीं था बच्चों को, बिकॉज आई वॉज टीचर फॉर 25 to 30 years in my life. In my young, by the time I was intermediate, मैं तब से टीचर थी. So to the extent I remember, no kid in my class ever cried when my age was even 17 years. So I always believe that if a kid can love to see a movie smiling, can eat a chocolate smiling, can play a game smiling, can also study smiling. And as I've kept on observing that, the educational system in private institutions weren't great. It was so commercial. It's getting commercialized so much कि आप फर्स्ट क्लास से लेकर 10वीं कक्षा तक जाते रहते हो रोज एक थैली पीछे लेकर होमवर्क क्लास वर्क करते करते करते. अब बताइए 10 सालों में से स्कूल में से क्या बन के बाहर निकलते हैं? कोई प्रोफेशनल डांसर नहीं बनते. बनना है तो कोई और प्राइवेट टीचर को घर के पास लगाना पड़ता है. आप प्रोफेशनल स्पोर्ट्स में नहीं बनते हो, तब भी जाके कोई स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमी ज्वाइन करना पड़ता है. आप कोई IIT, एम्स या कोई एंट्रेंस एग्जाम नहीं लिख पाते हो, तब भी जाके आपको कोचिंग में जाना पड़ता है. तब बन क्या रहे हो 10 सालों में? आई मीन फर्स्ट से लेकर 10th क्लास तक. हाँ, आपको ड्रग्स मिल जाता है, आपको क्या बोलते हैं, इंस्टाग्राम, ट्विटर, टिकटॉक्स ये मिल जाते हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, these children, they get upset, they get disheartened, they get depressed. All these things, as I've started realizing, when my journey just started off with one simple reason, that my kid should not cry. And I've started understanding that अरे पहले घर में इंसान बनने का तो सिखा देते बच्चों को, अभी रुला के क्या सिखाना है? ABCD. वो तो my eldest daughter learned, she started knowing all the alphabets with numbers from 1 to 100 with all the rhymes by the time she was 11 months. तो मुझे क्या करना था जब भी जाकर वहाँ पर? But still I tried my level best, and every time I failed to understand that what is ultimately schooling. Maybe I was incapable. I would say that I'm incapable mother who couldn't properly send children to school.
they are well-rounded children.
My
but,
eldest daughter, whose name is Lopamudra, at the age of just 15, she is the youngest girl child in the country to get into IIT Chennai. Now she is actually translating Vishnu Sahasranamam in English.
So you did religious education along with what academic?
पर्सनालिटी बिल्डिंग आई वुड से एक
Okay.
इंसान को इंसानियत सबसे पहले एक इंसान में एक माँ होने के नाते मेरा सबसे बड़ा कर्तव्य और धर्म ये होता है कि घर में है सो 3 बच्चों को देश के लिए वॉरियर्स बनाना था मुझे. जब मुझे लगा शायद मैंने काम किया है while doing whatever charitable works I was doing, while I also fought like an emergency, during the medical emergency COVID, I also worked very hard day in, day out, day in, day out.
But self-doubt नहीं था माधवी जी, and was your husband supportive कि घर में पढ़ाएंगे बच्चे को?
He was, he loves me more than me. Oh, it's very difficult to beat
Because
him on
you can't take
parent.
this kind of a decision without support from your husband, right?
No,
कि
it's not
घर
a
में
sole
पढ़ाना है.
decision. No, it's not a sole decision. I'm telling you, he's more possessive than me about children. कभी-कभी आपको शक आ जाएगा whether he is mother or I am mother.
So what about the children? Did they rebel at any point of time कि हमको भी स्कूल जाना है जैसे बाकी बच्चे भी जा रहे हैं?
नहीं, my son said, आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह से दीदी को घर में रख लिया, मुझे भी जाओगे स्कूल? अभी छोटी बोलती है, father somehow felt that maybe they're missing out on something. The youngest one said, I'm cool man, I don't have to get up in the morning, I don't have to answer anybody. और दोस्त बोल रहे हो ना, वो तो मिल जाएंगे boss, don't worry. Now she's so chill about it. They really love, because I used to sit, play, मस्ती करती थी मैं उनके साथ.
How lovely. So, you have a very, very tough schedule, right? Even when you were going and doing Samaj Seva, forget about politics which came later, but Samaj Seva करते time भी फिर वक्त कैसे मिला कि बच्चों को पढ़ाने का भी और ये समाज सेवा करने का भी?
Yeah, around 8-9 years तक, they were free dudes, like, free going birds. Like, आप एक जंगल में जाओ तो जैसे हिरण भागते रहती है, they were like that. So each one of them for that matter. ना मैं बड़ी जब 9 years की हो गई तो then she started studying. Then we put set of few teachers. Then I had to take care. So बड़ी का देख रेख तो थोड़ा मेरे को जब पढ़ाई करती तो I don't have to take care of her, right? She was in her room studying. बाकी के 2 बच्चे. So while these I was to take care of it, and even my mother, it's a very Indian style, right? Mama, Harvak, your mothers are always there. That's
Correct.
the beauty of this country.
Yes. Without mothers-in-law, aunts, everybody. As a working woman, I can tell you this, that when my children were growing up, everybody, you want to help? Come. Help. Because
That's the beauty about India.
Yeah.
I would say that you
don't
are
need
all blessed to be
appointment
Indian women.
For mother to live with mother, live with mother-in-law, live with aunt, uncle, anybody. You need help.
So my mother definitely, at this minute, I would really want to,
How
bow
nice.
to her. And so she was a great support of mine, and she really raised along with me. And वो पुराने ज़माने के खाना पीना सब बनाती थी very patiently. So while I used to give the more of philosophical time with them, उनके साथ मैं दोस्त बनी थी माँ से ज़्यादा. हम तकिया से खेलते थे. They used to hit me. I used to hit them. And it was like, I would say maybe I'm not like a mom to them. We were all like buddies and friends, brought up together.
Also, you had children early in life also, no? So it matters. All that matters.
See, that's the reason probably why I got attracted to the constituency. A mother in me actually provoke for whatever role I'm playing today.
Okay.
I'm not a politician, Smitaji. Probably I can never become a politician. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. If you look at those children in that constituency, you would just feel that what all do you require to throw all that coming between a child and their growth. And it's high time. It's high time that the legal system, the political system, the administration, at least once forget about being selfish. I would go legally to any extent lawfully to protect that constituency, because in 21st century, where country is heading to take the 4th position Probably under Modi ji's reign, first position also in the world economically. वो एक छोटा सा एक नन्ना कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी कैंसर बढ़ रहा है वहाँ पर. And I don't want that to happen. We look at those government schools. They're good for nothing. पानी तक नहीं रहता है. I've got a request. I can't take those names. अगर कल को कौन बता नहीं जाके वहाँ पर उनको टॉर्चर करेंगे. I've got a request. सालों से पानी नहीं है. I've requested somebody else because they बोलते code of conduct.
Oh.
Hey, you can't even do charity. So you have to stop charity for these 2 months. Or kids will die. So I've requested somebody that please उनके लिए पानी के टंके बना दीजिए. कभी अभी तो मेरे हाथ बंधे हुए हैं. If this is the situation there, somebody should move. प्रधानमंत्री विश्वकर्मा योजना. बताइए प्रधानमंत्री को इसमें क्या फायदा है? They are not at all educated women there. Absolutely सातवीं कक्षा के हैं. तो आपको हुनर भी सिखाना पड़ता है. Whenever I go, they tell me, अम्मा आप हुनर सिखाओ अम्मा, हमको कुछ भी तो नहीं आता, हम कैसे रोजी रोटी काटेंगे यहाँ कर. So under प्रधानमंत्री विश्वकर्मा योजना, they give training for 15 days and every day they pay 500 rupees and 18 skills will be taught. You can choose any one of those skills. After that, 0.45 paisa is the interest. That's 5% per annum. That's hardly anything. They give a kit of worth of 15,000. Again, they give from 1 lakh to 3 lakh.
Kit would be sewing machine.
For example, अगर मैं माला बना रही हूँ जो मंदिर मस्जिदों के पास बिकते हैं, तो वो धागा, the entire thing. Suppose if I'm कपड़े सिला, दर्जी का काम है, this machine, whatever it is, whatever skill you pick up from that, there are 18 skills. वो skill का kit मिल जाता है. क्योंकि till your loan comes, you can keep yourself practicing.
तो कर रहे हैं क्या?
जहाँ तक भाजपा वाले कार्यकर्ता और लाभार्थी के जो टीम्स रहते हैं, महिला मोर्चा ये सब, जिस हद तक हो लोग जा सके, they went all the way till there. But beyond that, they can't penetrate into those areas where it's very scary to even to enter.
So there are no-go areas in your constituency?
Many. If I am saying there are 1127 sensitive polling booths, क्या मतलब है उसका? कि वो तो सेंसिटिव एरियाज ही है कि आप नहीं जा सकते हो, वोट डालने नहीं जा सकते हो आप, तो अच्छे काम करने के लिए कहाँ जा पाओगे आप? अरे मैंने वही बताया ना, जो कांग्रेस के बंदे कुछ वो खुद मार खा रहे हैं, हम तो बहुत छोटी चीज़ है स्मिता जी. वी ऑल आर वेरी वेरी स्मॉल. They attack Muslim MLAs itself, poor people who want to go and do good for the constituency. They're stopped.
So what chance, Madhavi ji, you last time 3 लाख से ओवैसी जी जीते थे, इस बार
1 लाख से हार जाएंगे.
इतना कॉन्फिडेंस आपको?
मैं इतिहास बनाने आई हूँ स्मिता जी, बनाकर ही रहूंगी. There's no other way.
और कैसे? अगर आप कुछ एरियाज में जा भी नहीं सकती
तो क्या करेंगे? गए तो पत्थर मारेंगे. मारने दीजिए, पता चलता है. दिस इज हाउ पीपल आर. जो 8 सालों से मैं जाकर उनका सेवा कर रही थी, परसों तक कर रही थी, तब जिन्होंने पत्थर नहीं मारा, क्या मतलब है उसका? कि दे इनवाइट, दे वेलकम पीपल हु टेक केयर ऑफ देम. अगर जस्ट मैं आज उन मोहल्लों में जाती हूँ ये कहने के लिए, भैया हम ये अच्छे काम करना चाह रहे हैं आपके लिए, प्लीज़ आप जागृत हो जाइए, आपके खुद की फ़ायदा के लिए हमें वोट डालिए. इट्स दिस सिंपल.
Madhavi ji, asking
and if for that, if there is a stoning happening, then people have to think again and again and again, who is doing this? I am so sure neither an educated Muslim will do. I am so sure not that small person who is looking forward for a change in life will do. People who are scared, people who do not want me to get into their lanes, would be people with their own selfish needs or selfish motives. उसके आगे जाऊंगी मैं, फिर जाऊंगी. क्या करेंगे? End of the day, what, Smita ji? If that is what so-called the people who have given their lives to throw British government out would have thought, आज अब आप और मैं स्वतंत्र भारत में नहीं बैठते थे आज. Somebody has to come forward to go to an extent to say that I am ready to sacrifice myself to bring justice in that constituency, what it may take. Anything happens to me in this process, at least I'll feel happy that there was a cause for which I have given my life. And I'm so sure that hundreds and thousands and lakhs of people, youngsters will wake up. If that can bring change for that constituency, I'm happy to do that also and give myself. पीछे हटने की बात नहीं है, गुंजाइश नहीं है इसमें.
That's quite a statement. Before I conclude, I even want to ask you something which we have overseas viewers also, and there are many Andhrites who live in America, who live abroad, who are very interested in politics of Telangana. Formerly United Andhra, now Telangana. And you can imagine that all these associations in the US, they got divided all of a sudden when the division happened. So they are interested in Telangana politics also. You are new. To a large extent, overseas Andhrites, overseas Telugu persons, I should say Telugu persons, overseas Telugu associations are interested in politics, and they want to know also about you. And there have been allegations that they are interfering in some manner, they are influencing in some manner. Do you see it as a positive thing when you have overseas Telugu persons interested in politics? Because see, one has seen in the reason it's a very long question is because I have seen the impact of overseas Punjabis when the Punjab state elections happened. When Punjabis in Canada, I saw that they were hiring cars, and I could see Canadian flags as well as Indian flags in the car. There were so many Canadians who took leave of absence from their jobs and came and campaigned for a political party or the second political party. They were giving funds. What do you have to say to Telugu-speaking Telanganites or Andhras who want to get involved in politics, who feel that they have something invested in it? Is it a positive thing or a negative thing?
I would say that, for that matter, any regional, any language, Indian citizen, whoever is living in any part of the world other than India, should be actively participating in politics. I would encourage that. Because they are one such individuals who have left this country before Modi ji's sarkar. And they have known better than many of us the difference between then India and today's India. If they desire and they decide, they are the people who can become the voice of this nation. Because today they are the people who can compare the nation that they are living with the nation that's growing under the able leadership of Modi ji. Now they are the people, educated, who have seen the world, who have to now think about cleaning up politics here for the benefit of the nation, but not for the benefit of an individual or an individual political party. I would say they all should become voice of their respective regions, language and states, helping the localites here understand that please don't get caught in selfish politics of the political parties. You cannot have heroes, individuals in a political party where the party doesn't have morals or ethics or principles for a larger good.
एक सवाल ये भी पूछूंगी जो मैंने स्मृति ईरानी से भी पूछा था जब पहली बार वो राहुल गांधी के खिलाफ इलेक्शन लड़ रही थी, तो उस वक्त कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में सब लोग देयर वाज अ मसल मेमोरी कि हमेशा हमने वोट दिया है कांग्रेस को तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली हम तो इन्हीं देंगे, देयर वाज दैट. सो आई आस्क्ड स्मृति दैट नोबडी हियर नोज यू, क्योंकि यहाँ टेलीविजन नहीं है लोगों के घर में, तो वो सास भी कभी बहुत ही पता भी नहीं. और जब आप पॉलिटिक्स में आए आपके बारे में जानते नहीं है, यहाँ पे सिर्फ गांधी परिवार को जानते हैं. तो अगर आप हारेंगी तो क्या करेंगी? तो मैं आपसे भी ये पूछ रही हूँ, अगर इलेक्शन नहीं जीतती आप, डिस्पाइट योर फियरी डिसीजन दैट यू विल वर्क हार्ड एंड यू विल विन द इलेक्शन, अगर आप नहीं जीतती तो फिर?
जिस हद तक मैंने एक जर्नी लेके गई हूँ और लेके जाऊंगी भी, एक सोच में बदलाव आएगा स्मृति जी. बिकॉज स्मृति ईरानी जी has won the next elections.
Yes.
Is that not a big change? Bhagavad Gita says, which I strongly believe, that you need to concentrate on your process. The result is in none of our hands. But that should not discourage a person who is in the process. I would put all my 100% in the process because I always believe the result is in the hands of Almighty. I would want to do it without an expectation. But my desire is to uplift and give justice in a democratic nation like India to everybody in my constituency, which is Hyderabad Lok Sabha constituency, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, religion. मैं उनके सोच बदलना चाहती हूँ. अगर ये जो शुरू हुआ, if even it reaches all the way till there, that means we have created history. शायद कल को कोई एक नन्ना मुन्ना एक यंग माधवी लता would do it. It need not be me. It can be any woman. I am not looking at whether I am doing it or I am winning it. Did I give that begin? Am I making the constituency think for its own benefit? Every voter. I'm morally responsible to make a voter please wake up. आपके हाथ में इतना बड़ा शस्त्र है और आप कमजोर क्यों पड़ रहे हो? ये बात वोट माधवी लता का नहीं है. ये आपका हक का है. आप खुद अपना तकदीर को बदल सकते हो. तो किस बात की डर है आपको? आप डरोगे तो कल का बच्चों का क्या होगा? Who is there to think about their children? All those poor of that constituency, all those pasmandas जो इस constituency में, all those Hindus जो डरे डरे जी रहे, उनकी ये हालत है. कल उनके बच्चों का क्या हालत होगा और कौन देखेगा उनके बारे में? आज के नागरिक जो उठ कर वोट डालेंगे, एक दिन के लिए उन लोगों को स्वार्थी बनना पड़ेगा उनके बच्चों के भविष्य के लिए. It is not Madhavi Latha's journey alone. It is 22 lakh one added Madhavi Latha's journey that all of us have to think that democracy has given a fantastic weapon called vote. वो एक दिन के लिए जागृत हो जाइए क्योंकि सैटरडे संडे 2 हॉलीडेज आ रहे हैं और मंडे के लिए अब बाहर कहीं मत जाइए. हॉलीडेज जिंदगी भर आते रहेंगे. 40 साल से आप हॉलीडेज ही मजा करते आए हैं. उससे कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ. एक दिन काम पे जाइए और मजा करिए पूरा जिंदगी.
आपको जब सुनना है ना तो सब लोग यही कहेंगे भाई अब तो नहीं कोई कह सकता कि बीजेपी की बी टीम ओवैसी साहब है क्योंकि अगर इतना फियरी लीडर को लगाया है तो वो बी टीम तो नहीं है ओवैसी साहब की. वो तो चला गया.
एग्जैक्टली दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट टू टेल द एंटायर कंट्री. अरे ओवैसी जी कहीं जाते हैं वहां हारते हैं, अब उसके लिए बीजेपी क्या करे? थोड़ी बीजेपी न्योता दे रही है. तो साहब खुद ब खुद जा रहे हैं ना, तो जाने दीजिए. अभी ओवैसी साहब नहीं तो कोई और साहब जाएंगे. हार थोड़ी ओवैसी अकेले हार रहे. जब बीजेपी जीत रही है, वहां के 2-3 पार्टीज जो भी जाके खड़े रहे सभी तो हार रहे हैं ना. So you cannot blame a party like that, a party like BJP, which is constantly thriving to work for the people. If that's exactly what you said, right? If they have deployed me, I'm a bloody bulldozer. They can't tell that Asadji is anymore the B team. फिर भी they want to clinch to that.
And for a Bharatanatyam dancer to say I'm a bulldozer is a little...
My thoughts are so strong that I would not compromise. I'm definitely emotional because I'm more emotional like a mother. Because, you need to have that emotional, I feel we deserve to have that emotional tinge as a politician because I always feel a social worker, when reaches to the peak, is a politician. A politician is a social worker with power and authority. मैं इतना ही politics जानूँ.
ओवैसी साहब से कभी मिले हैं क्या फेस टू फेस?
नहीं, बट मेरे हिसाब से ओवैसी जी पार्लियामेंट से निकलते हुए हम पार्लियामेंट के अंदर जाते हुए एक दूसरे को आदाब भी कहेंगे और नमस्कार भी कह लेंगे.
So I'm going to conclude on that note. Thank you so much, Madhavi ji. Wishing you all the very best. Asad Saab has also come on this show. In fact, he came on the show at a time when not many people knew about political podcasts. And एक ही request पे आ गए थे वो. तो at that time everybody was like, telling him that ये क्या मतलब podcast में क्यों जा रहे हैं, क्या है? In fact, there were many people who never liked to do podcast. कि नहीं आप ANI के इंटरव्यू में कर लीजिए ना, पॉडकास्ट क्या चीज़ है. बट स्लोली पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड वार्मिंग अप. सो आई विश हिम ऑल्सो ऑल द बेस्ट. May you also have all the luck on your side, and please be safe, and wishing you success.
Thank you so much. And I wish only one thing, that where there is a welfare of my constituency people, that is where they should choose to stand up for themselves.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this podcast and sharing it with people who you think will benefit from these conversations. Do like and subscribe to the channel. Namaste. Jai Hind.